It is 2016, people. Come on now. Woe be unto the CEO that thinks they can donate to charity in this day and age. Now, a long time ago, before the internet and the SJWs that have come to infest it, there was a golden era, a magical period in time where donating to charity was a positive thing. I know that's crazy, but it was a virtue. It was something we taught children to try to strive to do, to give back to society, to uplift individuals that had a bad situation in their life or that were dealing with a trauma, and to help them back up, to give them a hand, to get them on their feet again. It was a good, a noble thing to do. But those days are dead. No, now you've got to check ahead of time because the charity you might want to donate to might not be politically correct enough for you to avoid the high crime of wrongthink. And as we all know, wrongthink is a capital offense in this day and age. Not capital as in capital punishment. They're not going to kill you. They're going to take away your capital by getting your ass fired for doing something they disagree with. And that is exactly what's happened to the CEO of Marvel. Now, he had the unmitigated gall. You know what? You're going to want to sit down for this because it's really hard to take. He actually gave $1 million. Are you ready for this? To a veterans charity. Holy shit, what is he thinking? Doesn't he know that veterans use guns? They fight in wars and they kill people. That's not the kind of society I want to live in. Veterans should be forced to be homeless. They should have to crawl through the gutters on their stomach. Now, if that sounds absurd to you, congratulations, you still have a shred of your fucking sanity left. The rest of the internet, not so much. Now, the regular suspects, and by regular suspects, I mean the typical shit heap journalism websites that exist out there, put out the articles that you would imagine them to put out when this man gave $1 million of his own money on his own time to a veterans charity fundraising event Donald Trump held a few days ago. And of course, right on the heel of those articles, you get the typical response you would imagine. In fact, I'm going to share some of them with you because it's so absurd you need to really hear this to believe it. Support for Donald Trump needs to be treated as support for white supremacy because it is unacceptable. You wonder why Marvel is so bad with representation? Their CEO donated $1 million to Trump. End of story. Resign. You should not give a cent to anything Marvel until their racist, Trump-supporting CEO steps down. Summary. Marvel's CEO donated a massive amount to Donald Trump, heavily indicating racism. Stepping down is the only acceptable move. As a Mexican-American whose parents immigrated to the U.S. from Mexico, I am very hurt to see Marvel CEO donate $1 million to Trump. That donation is a huge fuck you to me and other Marvel fans who are targeted by the hate Donald Trump represents and perpetuates. The CEO of Marvel just gave Trump $1 million. Excuse me while I go burn everything I own of theirs. Anytime Marvel cheapens women or marginalized minority voices, it shores up a structure that leads from employees to Perlmutter to Trump. Welcome to the social justice era, where donating your own money on your own time to a charity event will cause people to burn the products the company you work at sells and demand that you be fired for it. Now, I've talked in the past about how social justice warriors will infiltrate different groups, how they will subvert the fan base and bring about changes nobody actually wants, only to fit their personal political agenda. They do it to video games, to movies, to music, to television shows, to comic books, to board games, anything you can think of. It is currently happening right now because that is what they do. But I want to talk about a specific tool that they implement to help this be a success. Because simply taking over a fan base is only a portion of how they bring about the changes they want to see. And the current events happening with the Marvel CEO really help to highlight their methodology. It's what I like to call replacement theory, and it works like this. Social justice warriors will find a group, a demographic, a fan base, and they will infiltrate it. They will pretend to be a part of it. And as their numbers expand, they will start to make demands for small changes. They'll say, we need a little bit more diversity. This language needs to be changed because it's a little bit sexist. Don't get angry at me. I'm not saying go overboard. Just a little change here, a little change there. Maybe somebody said something to the company they don't like, so they ask for an apology. The company thinks this is the fan base talking to them, and so they acquiesce. They make these little changes. They offer these little apologies, thinking they're appeasing the people that actually buy their products when SJWs don't actually buy the products they complain about. They simply want to institute changes based on their political agenda. Once they have a sufficient amount of people within the fan base, now it's time to really change things up. And this is where the replacement theory portion comes in. They wait for an event to happen at a higher level in the company. In this case, this would be the donation to a veterans charity fund. Now, they see this person in the position of CEO. They dislike this person because they don't adhere to the viewpoints of the SJW. So they wait for the hit piece to come from the press, which it has. Salon and the others have issued this talking about how this is clearly indicative of a sexist, racist, horrible person. How dare he support Trump? How dare he give money to a veterans charity fund? The moment they have that, they begin to bombard the person on social media, demanding that they be fired, demanding that they resign. And it is for the sole purpose of replacing them. See, you can bitch from the fan base as much as you want, and you can get small changes, and you can get those apologies. But if you really want to fuck a company up, if you really want to screw with a genre of entertainment, you need to replace the people at the top. Now, we're watching that, or an attempt at that, take place right now. They will apply this pressure and make it seem like it's coming from the fan base, because remember, they've already infiltrated. They're already a member of it. So when the company looks at this and they say, oh my God, look at all the fans out there. Look at all the negative press. We need to get rid of you, because clearly the people purchasing our products are demanding it. We saw this happen with the CEO from Mozilla. He gave money, he donated funds to a California Proposition 8 campaign. Again, his own money on his own time, but it was a perfect opportunity to get rid of him. And once they get rid of these individuals, they replace them with somebody that's more sympathetic to how they think, further ruining the thing that they are infiltrating. Now, you can talk to people in tech, and you can ask them what's going on with it right now, and it's pretty clear. There's a war going on in tech right now with the exact thing that's happening in comics taking place over there. They're trying to replace the people that are at the head position of a company or a group with somebody more like-minded that they are, so they can implement the changes they want to see. To give you an example of what I'm talking about, this is a paragraph from the Vox article talking about the donation the CEO made. The donation has upset people, some of whom may not be completely familiar with Putmeier's reputation. Considering how progressive and diverse Marvel Comics have become, why would the company's figurehead donate such a large amount of money, or any money really, to someone who has built his campaign on xenophobia, Islamophobia, and whose supporters resort to sexism? This move doesn't seem to align with the fact that one of Marvel's most popular comics is about a Pakistani American Muslim teenage girl named Miss Marvel. And this is what I'm talking about. You have comic book fans that actually like comic books, but then you have this group of individuals that doesn't really give a shit. They're not buying the comics, they're not reading the comics. They just want changes made for the sake of change. They want more diversity, more tolerance. Fuck the storyline. Who gives a shit about the character? I just need you to fill off a quota box. You need to tick those marks until it is a Pakistani American Muslim teenage girl named Miss Marvel. So you have this group of individuals that take over the fan base and get these changes made, which leads to what they describe as progressive and diverse. And now they look at the CEO and they say, how dare he donate money to something that doesn't align with this new progressive and diverse Marvel by a subversive group of people that aren't really even comic book fans. And they want him gone. And once he's gone, they're going to try to get somebody that aligns with their viewpoint, which will further ruin the company and make their products even more shit, until eventually you're left with nobody buying comics anymore because there's nothing worth reading. You're going to reach a point where comic books really revolve around the plotline of a transsexual disabled midget who is fighting for her gay lover's right to take a shit in a unigendered bathroom on a college campus. And I don't know about you, but that's not really fucking as interesting as Thor hitting something with a fucking hammer.